In 1998, scientists ran a strange experiment. They generated 1 million possible genetic codes and discovered something unexpected. The genetic code used by every living organism on Earth performed better than the vast majority of randomly generated alternatives. Near the top of 1 million, already present. Researchers are still investigating why. This is not a conspiracy theory. This finding comes from a peer-reviewed paper, Journal of Molecular Evolution, 1998, Freeland and Hurst. And it is one of 6 unusual patterns in biology that researchers are still actively investigating. Not for lack of trying. These are simply questions the scientific community has not yet fully resolved. And the strangest pattern is still ahead. 74,000 years ago, a supervolcano called Toba erupted in Sumatra. Genetic evidence drawn from the DNA of humans alive today suggests our ancestors may have been reduced to somewhere between 10,000 and 40,000 individuals. Humanity nearly vanished. Then, roughly 4,000 to 6,000 years later, something happened. Cave paintings appeared, symbolic art, abstract language, long-distance trade, ritual burial, the full flowering of human imagination, arriving almost immediately after the species came closest to silence. Standard evolutionary expectations would suggest the opposite: severe bottleneck, existential stress. You should get survivors optimized for survival, not abstract artists. Researchers still debate the exact mechanisms behind this reversal, but what comes next is even harder to explain. Inside the human genome sits a gene called FOX2. It plays a critical role in our capacity for complex language. The human variant carries 2 specific mutations found in no other primate on Earth. This mutation is estimated to have appeared 200,000 years ago. But the behavioral evidence of language, storytelling, mythology, structured thought, doesn't appear clearly in the archaeological record until approximately 70,000 years ago. The gene was present for over 100,000 years. What activated its full expression is still being studied. Every amino acid can be built in 2 mirror image forms, left-handed and right-handed. Random chemistry, when every living organism on Earth, from the simplest bacterium to the blue whale, uses exclusively left-handed amino acids, every single one, with no known exception across 4 billion years of life. A 2020 paper in Chemical Reviews described this as one of the most fundamental and still unresolved questions in science. Some meteorites also show a slight preference for left-handed amino acids, a clue researchers are still trying to understand. There exists a creature less than 1 millimeter long that can survive, complete desiccation for decades, temperatures near absolute zero, radiation doses hundreds of times lethal to humans, the vacuum of outer space, and pressures 6 times greater than the deepest ocean trench. It is called a tardigrade. And in 2016, scientists discovered it carries a unique protein called DSUP that physically wraps around DNA and shields it from radiation damage. Its evolutionary origin is still being studied. Its resilience goes far beyond that most animals require to survive. It is, in some sense, prepared for conditions it has never faced. 6 unusual patterns. A near extinction that produced the opposite of what models predict. How language gene present long before its effects appear. A comolecular handedness shared by all life on Earth. A creature whose resilience goes far beyond survival requirements. A genetic code near the top of 1 million tested alternatives. And a single molecular language shared by every living organism on Earth, unchanged across 4 billion years. Each one has proposed explanations. None have reached full consensus. And together, they point somewhere that is difficult to look away from. For 60 years, humanity has searched the sky for signs of intelligent life. radio telescopes, laser arrays, signals from distant stars. But what if we have been searching in the wrong direction? What if the evidence is not out there, but in here, in the 4-letter code that runs inside every cell of every living thing on Earth? A code that has not changed in 4 billion years. A code that information theory suggests is remarkably efficient. There is a hypothesis that connects all of this. It begins with a civilization that existed before ours. Not thousands of years before, millions. It asks one question that current science has not answered. What if we are not searching for life in the universe, but looking for ourselves? And once you truly sit with it, it becomes very difficult to ignore. Because the real question is no longer whether the pattern exists. The question is, what produced the pattern? And once you notice it, it becomes very difficult to unsee. Think about that.